Hi, I'm Paul Domish, founder of Drifter Vans, and today I just wanted to show you one of our new van builds. Came out great. How many times is that going to happen? So Tracy came to me from Florida. She's a surfer, and one of the first things that I wasn't really loving about her build was blocking off the front area and the back area, but I couldn't be happier. I think she was totally right by doing this. And I guess it's really just a preference. Some people like to be able to pass through, but our carpentry team, we put in this so you can still see through it. You have a peephole going through it, okay? And she did all of her cabinetry and Tammber, so it just gave it a really sleek look. Reed did this. One of my favorite parts of this is actually a wooden countertop here. This was done by Linda, the talented Linda, to make it look like concrete. So all of our clients, they work with an interior designer, either Kathleen or Lauren, to put all of this together. So I'm actually doing this before Tracy's even seen it yet, so hi Tracy. Reed did a great job putting all of the wall in and all of the little details. That was Kathleen, our interior designer. She did all of that for Tracy. And then right here, this is her wet bath. So this is a shower slash toilet. The door was custom made. We had to cut it down to size to make it work. All of this shower area right in here, this is actually like a rubberized, it's very similar to a material that you would use to do a pool actually. So we painted it, we made it look like it was concrete. So that was the look she was going for. I think it really came out great. As far as the hardware and everything, it looks really sharp. In the shower, we put the separate toilet. So separate's a compost toilet. They're newer to the US, but they really are nice. What I like about it is that you don't actually have to dump it out. There's actually, you put the bag in here for the number 2s, and then you put the compost in the bag, so it's much easier to take in and out. Now the urine has a separate compartment here as well. So it's a really nice toilet. We like to put them in all our vans, but that's up to you. So on the end of the countertop, more counter space here. So you have a reasonable amount of counter space. You know, sometimes it's really hard to fit a shower, especially a wet bath, inside of a van like this. This is a ProMaster 3500 extended, so it's about 20 feet, 10 inches long. They do make them longer, but for the size, she really did ask us to utilize a lot of this space to make sure that we could fit everything as we possibly could in here, like most people do. So instead of getting a stovetop built in, she has an induction stove that we made this drawer that would fit it, so you can just easily pull it in, pull it out, set it up on the counter, plug it in, and use it when you want to use it. For the microwave, we did a Furrion microwave, which this space, it really wouldn't have worked if we had to make this counter longer. So this is the 0.9 cubic feet that fits in really well in this little space that we had. So let's check out the rest. So we had to put a lot of things very tight in here, but it really did flow very well. So you have the counter space behind the driver and passenger seat, the shower, and then there's a sink area over here. So this is the sink area. It's not a ton of room, but it gets done what you need to get done, just depending on how much you plan on cooking and everything. It has a safe underneath with your fire extinguisher, all of that. I think that this gives you plenty of room to do what you have to do. And then if you have cooking, everything else, you can have this counter over here and the other counter over there for chopping things up. So ended up being a really nice layout. All the hinges and stuff we use are all Bloom. It's really high quality. We build the cabinets in the shop ourselves. painted it ourselves. I mean, pretty much everything we do in the shop. We do all the upholstery, so whatever the custom size, you know, bedding and cushions and everything that you need, we do that. This was another thing that I wasn't sure about, but she wanted to kind of make it a little bit feel like the bed space and then the living space was separated a little bit. So what we did is we put this in, and we built this in the shop, and then we put those in the back as well, which kind of blocks off. There's really an ugly part of all the vans, right? And it makes it look unfinished. It's that back part where it has the vents and everything. So it's one of those things that's really hard. So Reed came up with the idea to put a piece of wood slats in that kind of blocks that off. And this really does feel like an apartment. You don't really feel like you're in a van when you're in here. It's a very small apartment, but it does feel like more like an apartment. And then underneath each one of these, you have storage. So you have ample amount of storage. Tracy's a surfer, so this is actually an extension, so her surfboard fit through the garage area. So that's what that is. So like our signature model, the Nomadic, this has a very similar layout where you have a seating on both sides, and then you have a table. So yeah, I would say that this is built for 2 people. You know, this is not a family van, but this is built for 2 people, so you can have breakfast here, lunch, eat, be on your computer, whatever. And it's a good size table for the space that you have. So Tracy optioned not to have anything go through or having an empty space there. So it's either you do it 2 different ways. It's either you don't have a space here, or you don't have cabinets here, or you do, but then you lose space in the garage. And she chose the garage. So on the other side right here, this is your Webasto heater. This is where the vent comes out. And then the other side, you'll also have ample storage over here. Yeah, all of our cushions have been made in-house by Linda. She does a great job. She does all the upholstery. If you look at, if you've built your own van, you understand how difficult this kind of stuff is. So all this stuff is upholstered, so it all looks really finished. And then this is the backsplash. This is like the vinyl backsplash here. So 2 of the biggest questions that I'm asked when we do an initial consultation, I talk a lot about toilets and I talk a lot about fridges. So when we first started, we had a lot of issues with the fridges until we turned over to the isotherm. The isotherm is a really nice fridge. It doesn't use a lot of electricity. I like the drawer style because then you don't have to reach in. If you have a door, they're all built low. You want to build your fridge low, just keep the weight down. It's a kind of an engineering thing I don't really know, but that's what I'm told. And then from here, you have your freezer. It's a really decent size. You fit a lot of stuff in there for being on the road, and it works. It turns on, turns off. It's definitely the best thing that we've done as far as fridges so far. So in the bed area, we like to do the cabinets on the one side and leave the other side open. You don't want to have cabinets right above your head. It makes you feel really claustrophobic. A lot of people don't think about that until it's too late, but I definitely would recommend that. In the back, we use AM auto windows. Okay, for the bump outs. I like them, they're bigger than the CRL, and I really like to work with the guy. And then as far as the bed, it comes with a 5-inch memory cushion. So it's really comfy. You get to choose if you want it soft, firm, medium, all of that. So a good thing to always be thinking about is your electrical, right? So a lot of people can overlook that. Just when you're building, when you're doing something, or you're planning to build with me, just make sure you're thinking about what type of items you're using on this counter, that counter, where your computer, where your workstation is going to be at. Just because when we think those things through, it doesn't become an issue at the end. So we installed a Furrion 8 air conditioning unit, and then we installed a Max Air vent in the back. So there's 2 different options you can do. A lot of people go without the air conditioning, and then you can either just do 1 vent in the back, or if you go without the air conditioning, what I recommend is doing 2 vents. It gives it a nice cross ventilation when you have 1 fan in the front and back, 1 to suck in, 1 to blow out. Saves a lot of battery power when you do it that way. The air conditionings, so even with the 12-volt air conditioning, I think people need to be realistic when they're talking about adding electricity, because that's not a solution to have it off of shore power to be able to run like overnight or anything like that. There are some very expensive systems out there that you can get the upgrade if you are looking for something like that. It even connects to your battery as well, to your car, and it'll actually turn on the car to recharge the batteries. There's a lot of options out there, but as far as a simple option, just rule of thumb, you're gonna have an hour, 2 hours if you're off of shore power.
to be able to run air conditioning units. You know, your 12-volt air conditioning units a little bit more, but don't over think that you can go for hours upon hours of running an air conditioning unit. So either travel somewhere cooler or get a bigger battery system.
So one difficult thing that a lot of people have a hard time with is figuring out where their monitors go and how to store those in a place that's convenient, but also doesn't take up a lot of room, right? So what we do is we built it into your cabinet here, okay? So you have your AC, your electrical, and then you have your water gauge with your heater right here. One of the really nice products that we do use, it's from a really nice couple made in the US. It's called the Bug Wall, and this is the bug screen that can go up and down. Now, it's a great product. I really like it. It goes up instead of the side-to-side retractable ones, which I personally like, and it's really easy to use, comes up and down really easy, and it's all done on a magnet, so it goes together really easy. Some people, like if they have a dog, they might want to get a zipper, but I would say that most people do it this way, and it's a really nice option to have.
So there's two different sets of light switches that a lot of people don't think about, but you definitely want to have a three-way switch. So you have a light switch on the outside before you get in. So you don't have to go up into the van before you do it. So that we put that in right here. If it's dark out, you don't want to step up and not be able to see anything. So one of the things that comes standard is our Fiamma awnings. So we put them on all the vans. They come on the Transits, they come on the ProMasters and the Sprinters.
So all the vans we do like to keep one thing really similar. We do a lot of custom work, but we like to keep the all your mechanicals on one side and your plumbing on the other side. And the reason we do that is for serviceability. So if anyone has any issues, any questions in the future, it makes it much easier for us to be able to service them. We give everyone technical papers as well. And then if you have issues in the future and you're way far away from us, and you just need to get something fixed, that we can walk a licensed electrician or plumber through it. So this is our electrical side right here. So we use the Renogy electrical. We put the Webasto heater underneath it, 3 batteries, and then you have your distribution panel that's actually made for us. That's a custom thing that you're not gonna find online. So typically we do the plumbing all the way to the side, but Tracy, being a surfer, she wanted a spot for her surfboard. So we built this spot in for her that she could easily get it out. That's her company, Salty Gypsy. Or, excuse me. That's her company, Salt Gypsy. And squeezes in. And then all of her plumbing, she has a 25-gallon tank in there, hot water heater, everything she needs. All of the pumps, everything is neatly put up on top.
So Tracy does have a shower, but she also wanted an outdoor shower. So this is a Thetford shower. It's really nice just if you're rinsing off your dog, rinsing off your stuff, or if you want to actually shower back here. A lot of people just do the regular showers now. So it just comes off, turn it on, there you go, you got shower. Right above that, this is your fill tank. So if you want to fill your fresh water tank, it's done right through here. Just twist it open, and that fills your water tank up for you.
On our electrical system, another thing worth pointing out is that we do have a fan on here, and it's actually regulated by heat. So it will turn on if it gets too hot, then it will turn on for you. I was mentioning before how we blocked this off, and what I was talking about are these panels. It kind of hides these panels right here. Okay, so it's just like one of those things you always see in van builds that it's kind of hard to hide them because you need to be able to take them off, you need to be able to access them. So by putting these panels here, it really did block that off, where especially when you're doing white walls and you're doing, you know, a lot of whites, you do notice the black strips on the side. So I think that that was a really good way to hide it off. And then we put the curtains in the back upon her request, and it just kind of gives it a homey feel. I mean, you saw it. It's a really sharp looking feel. And then we upholstered the back doors, put the insulation on the inside of the back doors here. And this just gives it a really nice, comfy feel. For the electrical, especially if you're building it yourself, this is something always to think about. You want all your inlets, outlets all on the one side. Here is your Furrion. This is your inlet for your 30 amp. This is your city water. So that's put right on this side right here, because when you go to a campground or something, everything's on this side. So just remember that if you're not a camper and you're building it yourself. Another thing that we do is we mount all of our gray water tanks underneath, and then this is your this is your release valve. Tracy added some really cool features to this one. She did the roof rack with the lights. That's an FVC roof rack, so it comes with a ladder. And then she went to aluminum, and then we got some surfboard holders, so her and her fam can go and get some waves. One of the other things you got in the back here is the aluminum box. So this just gives you a lot of extra storage. It's a small space as it is. It's waterproof, it locks away. It's a cool extra thing to be able to add a little space on without having any trailers or anything like that. Everybody, thanks for checking this out. If you're interested in building a van, go to driftervans.com, fill out a form, and we'll do a consultation together. If you are a DIYer, go to DIYcampervans.us, and we give you tutorials on how to build things, and it gives you a place to shop and find some of the things that we built here, like our cabinets and our electrical systems. All right, until next time, I'll see you later.